She also told me that she had wanted a sleep study scheduled. If you guys did not know, I've been diagnosed with narcolepsy. About a year and a half ago, I did a sleep study, but it was with a different neurologist, a different physician's office, a different hospital network entirely. So she's wanting me to do another sleep study. I have very mixed feelings about going back over to do an in-house sleep study, because it was a little bit of a pain last time that I got it done, but I'm willing to go back through it if that's what she says that I need. So I handed in paper today. They said they're waiting for approval from my insurance, and then they will call and get me scheduled. I don't know if it's going to be like last time and I have to do an at-home one and then an in-house one in order for insurance to cover what they need to cover. So we'll see what happens with that. I have 45 minutes until I can go in and check in for registration at 7:45, but I am sitting outside of the hospital. I came over here really early, checked it out to see where I was supposed to go, check my paperwork, double check my paperwork, make sure that I was at the right place, and make sure that I knew where it was and where I was going. And then I went and got dinner. I went to Cheddar's. It was delicious. So yeah, that's just kind of basically what I've been doing. I definitely feel way more prepared for this one, the sleep study. I don't know how similar the room is going to be. The only thing that kind of worries me is I hope they have a mini fridge, because I did bring some drinks. My last sleep study, they had a mini fridge in there, but I brought snacks, I brought a book to read, yeah, just some stuff to chill with. And then I definitely brought my shower bag. I did not have a shower bag last time because they did not tell me that I could shower until I got up to the room. And I definitely want to shower this time because those little pads leave sticky stuff. If you watched my last vlog that I did, then you will know that the little pads leave sticky stuff. And I don't have any hot water in my house, and I don't want to go somewhere else to have to shower. So I'd rather just shower here while I'm here, but I packed a shower bag for that. Also, if you're wondering, my finger is broken. There's another vlog that I did for a procedure that I had recently where I showed my finger, but it's still broken, but we're getting really close to being able to take this thing off, which I'm very excited about because doing my hair is such a pain to try to do with this thing, and there's so many things at work that are a pain to try to do, so I'm really excited, but I gotta take this off pretty soon. Okay, so my nurse just left my room. She asked me to get changed into what I'm wearing for the night, so I'm getting ready to do that. It's currently 8:04. She said she'll be back around 8:30ish to get me all hooked up, but I am not going to go to sleep until 10 o'clock. I don't know how well that's going to work, as I am exhausted right now. I could literally fall asleep. I will say this much, which I'm hoping to do a room tour in just a minute. This room is a lot more hospital. My last room, if you guys saw my last vlog, was a lot more hotel, and this one is definitely hospital, like especially the shower. I can't even get to it, but it is a lot more hospital in there, which, you know, it's fine. But yeah, she just left. She got my vital signs, so she did my heart rate and my blood pressure, and then she asked me a couple of really simple questions about was your day unusual in any way, that kind of. She asked me if I did any physical exercise. I said not on purpose. I'm a daycare teacher, so lifting the kids up to change diapers that's exercise in my book, but no, not on purpose. Okay, quick room tour. So this is the bathroom, shower, of course. This is a cabinet that's in my room. I brought an actual shower bag this time. If you guys remember the saga from last time, they did not tell me that I could shower until I got into the room. This time I will be showering before I leave tomorrow. But my purse, I've got a duffel bag right there, and then a backpack, which you can't see. And then this chair, chilling out over here. There's a fan. Honestly, might ask if I can turn that on. I'm assuming I can since it's in here, but probably gonna turn that on because I sleep with the fan at home. This chair, It's comfortable. It's not the most comfortable chair I've ever sat in, but it does pop out at the bottom, which is nice. I like that. Water bottle. That is my menu for food tomorrow. She just handed it to me and asked me to pick out what I want for lunch in case I stay. Book that I brought with me. This is the remote for the television, which is right there. I don't know what show this is. It looks kind of interesting, but it was playing Jeopardy when I walked in here, and I muted it because I was trying to read my book, but I might turn it back on in a minute. And then here's my bed. It's a Sleep Number. It's got a little remote next to it that she was showing me how to use. This is my thermostat. I got in here and immediately turned it down to 67 because I'm so hot. And then my lovely picture in the corner. Also, I am official. Got my armband on my other arm. There was another lady that came in here and just did my registration, confirming all my information, had me sign a couple forms, that kind of thing. So I'm official. Filling out my form for potentially lunch tomorrow. And then yeah, she should be back in here 8-9 minutes. She said she'd be back around 8:30, so I'll see her then. Okay, we are all hooked up. Wires everywhere. There's a bunch on the back of my head she put back there. The little microphone. This one actually is a microphone. The guy last time in my other sleep study said the one that he put right there measured like waves or something. I don't know, it was in my other vlog, but this one actually measures, she said it's like a snore microphone. It's actually gonna listen to my snoring. And then I've got my lovely necklace that everything is hooked into, but it's the same that it was in my last study with that on my throat, this, and then I've got 2 sensors on each leg, a band across my chest and a band across my abdomen, so. It is 5:55 in the morning. She just woke me up. Took all the stuff off, obviously. So yeah, I'm getting ready to hop in the shower back there and get changed, wash all this stuff off. I keep touching this every time I go to move my hair. But I will update you guys once I get out in the car. On how last night went, everything. But my sleep study is done, which is a switch up and not really what I expected. So I'll let you guys know when I am outside. Made it home. I hopefully look a lot cleaner than what I did in my previous clip. You guys can probably tell that sticky stuff, I got it off my face. I think I got all of it out of my hair. I tried my best. Showering with this it's a task in and of itself. It's really hard. I take it off in case anyone's wondering. I just slip it off my finger, and then I'm just really careful about like not hitting, because it's just the tip of my finger that's broken. So I just try my best not to hit it. So I'm in the parking garage of my neurologist office, just got over here, getting ready to go upstairs and talk to the sleep doctor to find out my results, which I already know, but to get my official diagnosis and results from my sleep study that I did back in June, the second one that I've done like in an actual sleep facility. So it's actually a couple of months later. You probably saw me time hop from like right after I got home to being in my neurologist's office to get my results. I got back home, that sleep study happened in June. I went into my neurologist's office a couple days ago, end of September. 2 days from now is the start of October. So if that tells you anything, but I did have such a hard time getting hold of my neurologist's office. That's not to say bad about them. but it was a little chaotic. We'll get to that in a second. First, I'm going to start with, kind of transitioning from the actual night of the sleep study. So after the last clip that I probably included of the actual night of the sleep study, she did come in, had me lay down around the time she said she was going to. While she was prepping me, she did tell me that she might come back in at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to put a C-PAP on if she felt it was warranted. So anyway, she had me lay down. I fell asleep pretty easily. I think it's just because that was the same thing that I had been used to, that I had experienced before in the other sleep study. I felt like I was sleeping pretty good. And then next thing I remember, she had come back in. I'm going to assume around 3-4 o'clock in the morning, like she told me she might. Woke me up out of what felt like the middle of a REM cycle. I wasn't fully awake when she walked in, and she came in, and I remember her putting the mask on, and she was like, "We're gonna put this on," and I'm like, okay. And I think in my head I was trying to process through, what does this mean? So anyway, she sticks it on, and here's the thing, I am a mouth breather when I sleep sometimes, especially if I'm laying flat on my back. And with all of that equipment that was strapped to me, I was sleeping laying flat on my back. And so I opened my, she was like, "You have to close your mouth. You can't have your mouth open while you have this on, because it won't work. It's pure oxygen that's going in. It's a mask that goes across your nose, and it's oxygen flowing in. So if you can't, you gotta let it circulate through your body, and can't have your mouth open." So I'm gonna be honest, she got ready to walk out, and I started panicking, and I was like, I can't do this, I need you to come back. And she was like, okay. So she walked back over the bed, and she said, "Do you want me to take it off?" And I was like, "Yes, please." So she took it off, and she was like, "If you just need a second, if you want to hold the mask in your hand and just put it up to your nose, and then you can take it on and off as much as you need, and I will stay here with you until you are ready to put it back on." And I'm like, I don't think I need that. I think what I need is for you to explain how to get it off, so that if I wake back up and I'm panicking, I know how to get that thing off of my face. She's like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And so she came back over, she put it back on, and she was like, there's a strap right here on the side that's magnetic, and she was like, "You pull on that and the whole thing will come off." So I was like, great. She ended up walking out of the room. It did take me a little while to fall asleep, and I don't know, I was just panicking. And I don't know if it's because of lack of sleep, or my brain was trying to process, does this mean that I have sleep apnea? I don't know what's going on, but I was able to lay there, get myself, I'm like, girl, you gotta get through this, get it done, get it over with. So I did end up falling back asleep. I woke back up, I think it was 4:30 in the morning when I woke back up, and I had rolled over, and I went to go pick up my phone, and I said, if this says, in my head, if this says it's 4:30 or after, I'm gonna lay here, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep. If it's before 4:30, I'm taking this off, because I can't do this anymore. Because it had turned into full-fledged panic attack when I woke back up. So I'd grabbed my phone, and it said it was 4:22, 23. And I laid there for a minute more, and I'm like, come on, come on, brain, we can do this. But then the longer that I laid there, the more emotional I felt, and eventually I started crying, and I was like, no, I'm done. So I reached up and I took it off, and she came over the speaker immediately, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, kind of." And she goes, "What was that?" And I said, "I need to go to the bathroom." Because I don't know, I didn't know how to explain. I really didn't want to explain my emotions at that point. And so she came in, she was like, "Yeah, for sure." So she came in, she unhooks a bunch of stuff, and she's like, "Go ahead, just let me know, when you come back in the room, I'll be right back." I'm like, okay. So she walked out of the room, I went to the bathroom. As soon as I closed the door, I cried. I was just really emotional. I'm still not entirely sure, why. So anyway, I took a moment, got myself back together, and I went back and I sat on the edge of the bed, and she came back over, and she starts hooking a couple things back together, and she was like, "Do you want to put the C-PAP back on?" And she said, "You don't have to, because I've got all the data that I need to make an assessment." And I was like, no, if I have the option, no thank you. She's like, okay, next question. Do you want to lay here and try to go back to sleep for the next 2 hours? Or do you want to shower and just go ahead and head home? Because like, you're not staying. And I said, no, I'd rather stay and try to sleep for 2 more hours, just because I don't want to have to drive home in like pitch black darkness in the middle of the night, because it was like I said, it was like 4:30-ish. I was like, no, I'd like to give the sun a chance to kind of rise, and because it was a long drive back home. Anyway though, I asked her, I said, but does that mean that I have sleep apnea? And she said, well, I can't tell you that, like, I can't make the diagnosis. I'm just a sleep tech who like monitors the sleep studies. It has to go to an actual like sleep specialist who reads these kinds of studies, and then they'll give you your results. And I'm like, okay. So I did lay down, went back to sleep for 2 hours. When I woke back up, she came in, took everything off of me, obviously. You guys saw the clip of me, you know, when I went in, I had the stuff all over and then got in the shower and whatever. But she did tell me the sleep mask that she had put on me, she like unhooked it from the machine. She put it back in the box, and she's like, I'm gonna let you have this, so that you at least have one sleep mask in case they put it in order for one. And I walked out and I was like, I have sleep apnea. I don't know how bad it is, but I have sleep apnea. Like, I could just tell her body language, her tone of voice, like her mannerisms, everything she was saying. I was like, okay. So walked out, went home. Hopefully there's a clip in there of like right when I had just gotten home. I went to my primary care doctor's office June 19th, so my birthday. I had an appointment, and I went out there to go see him, and we were discussing some other stuff, and he said, did you ever get your results back from your sleep study? I was like, no, they have yet to call me. He was like, that's weird. I think I actually have your sleep study. Let me see if it says anything. Obviously, I can't make an official diagnosis, but maybe it's got something on there. And he turned around, he looked at the computer, and I told him, I said, I'm pretty sure I have sleep apnea, like the way she said it. And I told him like what she had said, the way she said it. And I was like, obviously I can't be for sure, but it really seems like I do. And he turned towards the computer for a second, and he's looking at it, and he like kind of snickers, and then he turns back to me and he was like, oh yeah, you have sleep apnea. So I asked him, I said, does it really say I stop breathing? And he's like, oh yeah, you either stop breathing or almost stop breathing 26 times and qualified for the C-PAP within the first 2 hours of the sleep study. I was like, okay. I think that's the part that really freaks me out the most, that I could like stop breathing or almost stop breathing in my sleep, especially that much. And then my sister was like, isn't that like every 5 minutes? It's less than every 5 minutes, by the way. It's like 4 point some odd minutes. So like I said, obviously he couldn't make it official, so I was like trying my best to get a hold of my neurologist's office. It did take a little while. Like I said, the sleep study was in June. I didn't get a hold of them until I think August. And then they're like, we can schedule an appointment for September. So that's what I just went to the other day. Again, there's probably clips in here of me like walking to the office and stuff. But I got there to the neurologist's office. I will say this much. I thought that I was meeting with a sleep medicine doctor, and it was like the sleep disorder specialist, because that's who she told me she wanted me to meet with after I did my sleep study. And I get in there, and the lady that walked in the room is like, I'm the nurse practitioner who helps your neurologist when she's not in office. And I was like, okay. And she sat down and she was like, so you're experiencing numbness in your hands and your feet? I was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I see you also had a sleep study done. Did they get you all set up with like a C-PAP? Does it seem to be helping your sleep apnea? I said, no, because they never gave me my results. And I said it like almost exactly like that. And she was like, really? And like you could tell, she just had this like very panicked look on her face. And I said, but I do know that I have sleep apnea because my primary care doctor told me. Like, I've been known. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so let's get that C-PAP ordered for you. And I was like, yeah. Thanks. It was a whole journey. But she did ask a couple of questions about seemingly the narcolepsy. She's like, are you still falling asleep when you don't mean to? I'm like, yes. So are you still drowsy when you drive? Yes. Like, just all these questions and stuff that I'd answered before. She did say something about like another sleep study. We already know I didn't want to do this one, let alone another one. But they are wanting, she said, insurance, if I go ahead and use the C-PAP for so many months or whatever. She's like, hopefully they'll approve to do another in facility over like the day. So I don't know if that means that I'd have to stay overnight again, or if I just come in at like a certain point and stay like the whole rest of the day. I don't know how that works. I will say I'm just like not super happy about it, but I also understand like the need to redo it. Okay, so I don't remember the last time I filmed. It's probably been a little while. I think I got a little burnt out on it and then just like completely forgot to do it. But it is December, and I am at my neurologist's office. Honestly, it's been chaos. I was supposed to, so I went in for an appointment to what I thought was to go get my C-PAP and to talk to them about my sleep study, and it turns out that it was just like a regular neurologist appointment. I just met with the neurologist that helps her out, rather than, I mean, just fully looked in my camera. I was meeting with like basically her assistant. I don't know if she was an NP or not, but the assistant to my regular neurologist is who I met with last time. So when I met with the assistant that normally helps her out, she had no idea that nobody had even told me the results of my sleep study. But she told me she was putting in a referral or like order for me to be able to get the C-PAP. Basically, I'm going to go to a facility. They're going to be like, this is how you use it, whatever. And give me my C-PAP and then I'll have it. But it was like months and months and months, and I was like, why hasn't anybody called me? Why hasn't anybody called me? So I finally couldn't get a hold. They are impossible to get a hold of here at my neurologist's office. So I called them, and she basically told me on the phone that I needed to make a decision about where I want it sent, even though nobody had told me that that was a thing that I needed to do. And we were on the phone. I'm not gonna lie, she wasn't very nice about it. And she was like, well, have you done any research? Like, have you even done any research about where you want it sent? And I was like, no, because I didn't know that was a thing. I would have done research. If you need me to go try to find a place, I suppose I will. I don't care. I just want the C-PAP. Like, just send it. I don't care what city it's in. I don't care if I have to drive. Like, obviously I'm not driving to another state to do this, but you know what I mean? Like, any of the surrounding cities, I don't care. Just send it somewhere so I can go get the C-PAP. I have no preference at this point, if that's all that I'm doing with this like doctor's office. So she went in and put in an order for that, and my primary care doctor, I had called them before, and they're like, if they don't have it to you by like this point, call us again and we'll figure this out. So I called them. They put in a referral to a different place to get a C-PAP from. So now I have 2 different appointments with 2 different places. I think, but I'm not entirely sure, because people called me and I couldn't tell like who was associated with who. So it's kind of a mess. I also don't know what we're talking about today. I don't know if this is like just a general, if she's like, this is supposed to be a follow-up. I think it might be a follow-up to my EMG, because I don't think that I've gotten the official results from that. The second one that I had done. Both of my arms. Yes. I think that might be what we're talking today. I don't know. Okay. It's also the middle of December. I am super stressed out. I'm also exhausted from other things going on in life. So I'm gonna roll in with bunches today, see what happens. Normally I'd be a lot more like, oh yeah, this is what we're talking about and this is what we should be talking about. And today I'm just like, whatever we talk about, I guess. Like, but they didn't tell me I didn't need this appointment, and that's what they did last time. So I'm going to assume that I'm still good to go up and do whatever. Okay, so not quite sure what the last clip on this video was, but I did in fact get my C-PAP machine. It is in this bag, so I thought maybe I'd bring you guys along and show you a little video of what it looks like and me setting it up. I am actually not at home. I have a couple dog sitting clients that I sit for, and I am here at their house for a week. So yeah, brought the machine with me, hoping we can get it set up and use it this week. So also a little bit of a backstory about what's been going on. So when I got the machine, they have it set to a 9 in terms of pressure. That is way too much. I can't breathe when it gets to that point. I can feel it like pushing too much air in, and I have to like gulp and open my mouth to get like the air out. So I called the other day, went back and forth with the medical supply company and my neurologist, finally got a hold of the neurologist, and they're like, yeah, no, we can go ahead and get that sent over. And then medical supply company said, yeah, as soon as we get that prescription from them, we'll get it switched for you. I've turned it on the last 2 nights to check. Both nights it's still been at a 9. So we will turn it on tonight after I get it all set up and plugged in and whatever, and see if it's still at a 9. If it's still at a 9, I'm not wearing it. I can't. I'll wear it for maybe 30 minutes just because I want to be able to get some usage in and practice getting used to it, but I can't wear it if it's still at a 9. So okay, so this is my machine. I'm gonna try my best to find a good angle to show you guys setting it up. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get a very good angle in here, but this is what it looks like. This is one of my masks. We will get to that in just a minute. This is the starter guide that it comes with, has instructions. It actually runs off of an app, the My Air app. So, and then unstraps. And there she is, ready to be assembled. Okay, again, don't know how great of an angle this is, but we're gonna try it. So first piece I pull out is this one. Looks like this, got the little screen on the front, got the place for my tube in the back, and then it's got that part. So the next part is this. This is the water tank. It goes on, pops open from this end like that, and then on the side it has a max fill line. I have to fill this with distilled water. So I have a jug of distilled water at home. Thankfully I had one when I got my machine, but since I'm away, this was the best option. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. I am gonna go set this on the flat surface and do it, and not try to do it on this bed and spill water everywhere when I intend to sleep in this bed in a couple minutes. So I'll be right back. Got even closer. So it is filled to the max fill line. So I am just going to stick it in there. Just pops in and then locks. So that's good to go. The next thing I'm gonna get out is my tubing and my cord. So cord looks like this. The cord is going to go right there in that little slot in the back. It only fits in one way. Can I do this without looking? So that wasn't too bad of an effort. And then the next thing is my tubing. Looks like this on one end, this on the other. So this just goes in like that. So both of those are in, good to go. I will show you what it looks like once I get it turned on. I can no longer see you guys. And I have two different types of masks. So I'll show you this one first. This is called the pillow mask. Comes looking like this. Tubing, then it goes up, and then it's just got 2 little pillows that just fit into my nostrils and then go back, and then that straps to my head like so. So looks like that. All of these pieces do pop out, just in case you were wondering. They do pop out so that they can be cleaned, and then I can also switch them out. So there's also different sizes of the pillows. There's an extra small. Small is the one that I have in, and then a medium. She fitted me and said that I did really well with the extra small, so she would give me like extra of the extra small pillow pieces so that I could switch those out and just keep them like sanitary and stuff. But I ended up switching to the small, and it's been saying that I have a good fit overall, so not super worried about it. And I think it just feels more comfortable. So that's what this end looks like, and this just kind of pops down in there like that. The other type of mask that I have, which this actually came directly from my sleep study, looks like this. It just fits over your nose and then the back of your head. It's got the same kind of plastic tubing on it. It also comes apart so that it can be washed and sanitized. So this one has magnetic clasps on the end, and then it just fits over your nose. Straps go down over your head. And yes, it does feel really embarrassing to wear this, but I would like to keep breathing while I'm sleeping. So, and that's what it looks like. And you just breathe in and out. Same thing, these are super easy to switch out. So this one is in there, just wiggle it until it comes out, and then I can switch it out and wear this one. I've been going back and forth between the two. I don't know which one I prefer. I really just think it depends on the night. I wore this one the first night, and then I ended up going back to the pillow one, which I thought I was gonna like better overall anyway. But I ended up going back to this one the second night because this one, the side of it was like hurting my face over here, like it had suctioned too much the night before and then made it feel funny. So I went back to this one. But then night 3, so I don't know how to feel about the masks yet. I'm honestly kind of interested in seeing like a full face mask to see if I could breathe, because I'm very much so a mouth breather when I sleep. But I was thinking about that, but the problem is like in order to get the full fat face, I'm pretty sure I have to turn back in this one. This one's mine to keep, like kind of no matter what, because it came directly from the sleep study. This one came from the medical supply company that I got the machine from. Pretty sure I have to turn this one back in to get the full face. I was kind of thinking about just inquiring to see how much it would be to buy another mask and just buy a full face mask so that I have all 3 options if I need them, if I want to switch them out. You know, if one of them like is bothering me one night. This one seems like it doesn't work as well, like if my nose is stuffed up. I know I haven't been using the machine for that long, but so far, yeah, this one sometimes if my nose is a little stuffy, it doesn't seem like it wants to work as well. I don't know, we'll see. They're probably going to tell me that one of these is like thousands of dollars, and I'll be like, okay, no thanks. I'll just stick to what I have. There is also a user guide in the bottom of this. It is now empty. And then, like I said, she gave me extra of these little pillows. Okay, so this is what the machine looks like. It is touchscreen. It does go dark so that it's dark while you're sleeping. There's 2 different settings. One's called My Options, the other one's called My Sleep View. My Sleep View, if you click on it, it tells you about your usage. So hours used last night, it says a minute. That's because I put it on my face and realized that they hadn't changed my sleep setting and took it back off. But you can also see like your usage and your mask. And then if we go back to home, my options, I can choose ramp time, so how long it takes to go from the bottom number to the top number. Climate control, so this little water tank is heated, so I can try to choose like manual setting, and then yeah, it actually, I believe if I click manual, it brings up another, yeah, so then I choose the tube temp and the humidity level in this is the humidity level, and then I choose the tube temp, which is the temperature that it heats the tube to, because the tube is also temperature controlled. She said leaving it on auto though makes it so, sorry you guys couldn't even see that, makes it so that it kind of like goes by what the air around you is doing, and so far it's worked perfectly fine. So also the mask, so when I switch from pillows to my nasal mask, then I'm supposed to switch the setting on there. And then of course they have the full face, even though I don't have a full face mask. Also, that number down there is not supposed to be 9 anymore. Okay, so it was on. I went ahead and turned it off. It's at 0 because I turned it on and turned it right back off. But this little snowflake in the top is actually a cool down period. So it's sending cold air through this tube right now to try to cool it down. And that's supposed to help with like humidity and moisture and stuff like that. I don't know if you could hear it, but basically it's pushing straight pure oxygen in my nose, like down into my esophagus to try to keep my esophagus open while I'm sleeping. And so if I talk or I try to talk, I kind of sound like Darth Vader a little bit, because it's pushing air straight back out my mouth. So, but yeah, that's what it looked like. Probably not sleeping with it tonight because they still haven't changed my setting. And then of course their office probably isn't open on a Saturday. So we'll see what happens. I'm probably gonna end up having to call them back Monday. It's been 3 days because I called them Wednesday, checked Wednesday night, still hadn't done it, checked Thursday night, still hadn't done it. Tonight's Friday night. So that's 3 nights that they haven't changed it. So that's a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. I do have to clean this machine. They said clean the tube about once a day. I think the mask once a week and the water tank about once a week, or every time I have to refill it. So yeah, we'll keep filling it up, and hopefully at some point somebody gets it fixed. They're supposed to be taking it down to either 7 or 8. She didn't specify which one she was putting on the form, but she said she'd get the prescription filled out and sent over to my neurologist to get them to lower the setting, and it still hasn't happened yet. All right, we are going to pack my C-PAP back up. This is what the case looks like when it's mostly empty. I did have to take a couple things out of there. The first thing that I did was I went ahead and emptied the water tank, just dumped it out in the sink. It's just distilled water that's in here, so dumped it out, emptied it. It's gonna go back into one slot. I also went ahead and unplugged this from the wall, so this piece just wiggles, kind of pinch on the side, and then it just wiggles out. So that's my tubing. That just pulls out of there. This is good to go back down in. Slides back down in like that. And then my tubing, gonna go ahead and disconnect the mask. So just wiggle it free. And then the tubing is still kind of like kinked in the places that it needs to be wound back up. So we'll do that. There is a strap in here to put the tubing back through, and I try to get it through the strap when I put it back together, just because it keeps it all nice and like secure in there, just in case this gets jostled around while I'm moving. Okay, so next piece is gonna be this, which is the cord that plugs the whole thing in. Now the unfortunate news is, while I'm putting this away, is that I have not been using this because they have yet to fix my setting. So, still waiting on that to happen. Insurance is probably gonna get really mad at me for not using it, but again, they've yet to fix my setting, so I really can't use it. So cord goes back in that spot. I do go ahead, just to make everything cohesive and nice in here, I do try to put my mask that has a case back in it. So there's the 2 extra little mask pieces, and then this. I don't know if you can see that very well. It just pops right back in there, and then it goes down around and goes back up in there on the second. So it all looks like that, and then this cord just kind of sets in there like that, and then back in this plastic. Trying to keep these pieces as nice as I can for as long as I can. So looks like that, and it's just going right back in there. Like that. And then these two extra mask pieces go back in here on both sides. So it looks like this. And then this straps back over the top of that. This welcome start guide goes right there. And then this piece is just gonna go on top. And then it gets all zipped back up. And there you go. It's ready to go. Ready to go home. I do have this extra mask. It just literally right now just hangs out kind of on top near it so that it goes with me, so I have the choice if I want to change them. But yeah, so hopefully soon I will do a video of cleaning this. Like I said, I really haven't been using it, so not much on it I think needs to be cleaned, but I'm going to go ahead and clean like the hose and probably go ahead and sanitize both the mask anyway, and then definitely the water tank, because the water tank's had water sitting in and out of it a couple times. So